About to get ready to cook some breakfast for the little one. My other little one, she's already off to school. This is their last day, so you know they're about to be moonwalking around the school today. Let me get this together. How's everybody doing? Today I want to talk a little bit about, I was looking at some videos yesterday on YouTube and was really interested. And actually this is a narrative. Remember I talked about the power of narratives and the power of words, these storylines. I was talking about this, and also I've been noticing this trend and this divide between, modern men and women. There's like almost like a little bit of a war between the genders or something going on. So I wanted to kind of break that down. Where you going? You got your bad girl. Say hi, mama. Say hi. So I definitely got to find a new camera setup because my quality on this phone is not great. I thought the iPhone streaming quality was going to be good. I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max. I thought it was going to be pretty good, but it's not that great. You guys got any recommendations on cameras, or how does that work? Like good cameras that I can use to do lives? Because quality setup is really bad. But anywho, so modern men versus women. I guess what sparked this observation for me, I've been married, guys, for about under a year. It'll be a year in September. But me and my wife been together for about 4 years. So I've been at the game for a while, guys. So maybe my knowledge and wisdom may be from the Old Testament. I may not be up to date, But I have been noticing, nevertheless, just this real dissatisfaction and discontent. This real discontent and disappointment on both ends. Men are disappointed in the modern women. They feel like the modern women are, only concerned about, it's about hypergamy and money and leveling up and, looks, and they're all on Instagram, and, you hear these things. They're all on Instagram and half naked, and then if you try to say something to them and try to flirt with them, then it's a Me Too situation. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, guys? Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I'm just sitting here trying to talk. This little, not really a trend. It's been going around for a long time. If you guys have any topic suggestions or anything, feel free to throw it in there. I was just gonna talk about this divide between the men and the women. If you guys got any ideas, I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed. I'm just here with my little one getting some breakfast done. It's my routine. Mama, say hi, mama. Say hi, mama. And just getting my little routine, man, cooking me some breakfast. I got the small pan today. So just making some breakfast. How you guys doing? Hey, how are you doing? How you doing, bro? God bless you too, man. God bless you too. God is good. Today is the kid's last day of school, so guys, pray for me. Hopefully they letting them out earlier. It's almost like letting the animals out the cage. But I'm happy, man. They had a really good school year. I'm doing really good. I was just gonna break down this divide between the men and the women today. I'm not trying to be negative or nothing or put no negative energy out there. It was just observation. Just like I said, I've been out the game for a long time. I'll be 39 Saturday, so to this young generation, I'm old. So they probably don't give a damn about my opinion, but you guys have any insight on this thing? And God bless you too, Rodney. I appreciate that. I'm doing good. Alex Hernandez, David and Lisa, AGL Flame. I got a lot more people today. Usually I don't have anybody in there. I appreciate you guys watching the video. So men versus women. Man, where have we come to in a society where, it's just, can we get along? And I tell men this in videos, we don't always have to agree with what women do. There's some things that I see that men do, women do, I don't agree with. I can see that. Is it to the extent where I'm like against them, or I'm like, I don't like them? Not really. you know, because human beings, we're really unique creatures. We'll say we don't like something until it benefit us, right? We don't like women until we find out our wife. You know, or women don't like men until they find their husband and the guy that really is holding them down and there for them. And that could probably take you 20 years, 30 years, but doesn't mean that that person's not out there. You know, so yeah, I see these narratives of the men feeling like the women are sort of materialistic and not really motivated to fulfill their responsibilities as women. And it's kind of it's a relational thing, you know. From my opinion and my perspective, you know, if you really want a woman to, as a young man, to be there for you and support you and hold you down in a certain way, you gotta perform and produce. Mama, I know you're hungry. I'm daddy cooking. I know. This girl, she don't get her. She ready to eat. She ready to eat. You know, she ain't trying to hear me talking. She like, Daddy, why you talking so much? Cook, okay? She's like, what's going on? Let me get the food ready, Mama. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, man. You know, what would you rather be? And I'm not just putting this all on the men. You know, it's on the women too. It's a responsibility between both sides. But you know, I'm gonna start off with the men. What's the alternative? I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you could be single and not date and not deal with women and just live a life of just focusing on you, focusing on your goals, focusing on your objectives in life and your career, whether it's your health, you know, building your business. You know, you can focus on things like that. You don't necessarily have to be in a relationship with a woman. Jesus ain't had no woman, you know, from my opinion. Okay, everybody can argue that. Everything can be argued now. But he didn't lead with that. You don't see a whole lot of that in scripture now. Could they have hid that and all of that? I don't know. I don't want to get into that. But, you know, there's a lot of great men who didn't, you know, necessarily have a relationship. Wait, mama. And I feel like, you know, what really contributes to this divide, man, is social media. You know, really it's our responsibility. So I don't want to blame, you know, because even before social media, I feel like there was always some sort of like divide or something going on. But, and you know, for the women, they're saying the men they don't like us. You know, they might like women, but they don't really like us. You know, they don't really like this genuine, just honor for a woman is kind of dwindling down. I think why that is because as men, we tend to look at the woman that's on Instagram and social media as a standard. We got to get past that. You know, it's a lot of good women out here who working their ass off and taking care of their families, taking care of their men. I know because I'm a therapist, so I've seen it. And not even in therapy work. It's just, you know, I've seen it in my family. There's a lot of hardworking women out here, you know. And also I think it's men and women, you know, but specifically for men, because I can't, you know, I'm not a woman, so I can't speak for them. But as a man, sometimes we go after women that's emotionally unavailable. You know, we want the hottest girl, you know, the one that's the most attractive. And a lot of times, and this is not all, but those girls that are the most attractive, guys, I must have summoned the spirit of the ghost or something in here. I got stuff falling down. They're like, boy, what you talking about? But a lot of times men want the most attractive women on the block. And guys, we all know a lot of times that girl done got so many guys done hit on her and talk to her and she already know what you're thinking, you know. So you already know what you're thinking. She already know, you know, even though we don't really fully know what each other think. We're not mind readers, but in their mind, they already got us figured out. You know, I already know what you want, you know. So they tend to be, you know, depending on the female, but a lot of these super attractive girls that are on social media that are getting hit on a lot, they're not sometimes they just don't want to be bothered. you know, like they don't want to be bothered sometimes. And I think some men, we're hunter and gatherers. If we see something that we like, we go after it. I know, Mama, Daddy making your eggs, and we tend to go after women that are emotionally unavailable. A lot of women, not all, that are super attractive, and even not. They're coming from trauma. You know, whether it was somebody poorly mistreated them or growing up in their household, maybe it was really abusive. They're coming through some things. Life is shit. Like I told you guys, sometimes you gotta have compassion on people because you don't know what people been through. You might see a girl that's super beautiful, and you're just thinking her life is perfect, right? She ain't got no issues or no problems or stresses. Shit, you'd be surprised how these girls are raising their brothers and sisters because either mom or dad are on drugs or sexual abuse, all kind of stuff that's going on, in the community. You'd be surprised, you know. And then, they go out into the world, they just living their life, and you got 100 guys trying to hit on them. Hey, what's up, boy? What's going on, man? I had a lot of people show up today. I think it's kind of paying off doing lives every day. I'm gonna cut down on posting so many videos. I was looking at a video homegirl saying you don't want to post 3 videos a week on YouTube because it reduces your numbers. How's your day going, man? How's your morning routine? My daughter, she here starving. I'm trying to. Here. How's your day going? Making her some breakfast. Just talking about this divide between the men and the women, man. There's been a lot of videos people are putting out there where they're saying the men don't like the women. Yeah, they were saying putting too many videos up will shut down your growth. You're absolutely right. Yeah, homegirl, I was just looking at her video. She was saying, she was posting 2 to 3 videos a week, and it makes sense. People don't want to. They got to get through the content that you posted. You already got 20 videos, 100 videos. Come on. That ain't making your food, okay? The divide is so real, especially because I'm at the perfect age for it. All the guys my age saying reject women, embrace bromance. Be Giga Chad. Yeah, man. It's crazy. I'm seeing that. It's so weird because, like, you'll really know what era you come from just based off of the dynamic between men and women because, a lot of us think so differently and depending on your age. And some of us think the same. It just depends on individual. But with all, and this is me speaking from a man's perspective, ladies. I can't speak for you guys. I'm not going to dump on you. And I'm not going to dump on the men either. Like I said, you got good women out there who are loyal, who are faithful. They're not on Instagram half naked. And even if they are, that's their choice. I can't, we do stuff as men and, that's our choice. So what can we really say? But, and the way that I watch men my age trying to hit on women is so disgusting. I know, right? So let me get to the guys. I can't, like I said, guys, this isn't me beating you guys up because you got some good men out here who really loving and then a lot of more than loyal than a lot of women will really would anticipate. But for the men, like, yeah, man, like guys, I know there's guys who dunk on women. I don't like women, but you guys want sex, you guys want romance, you guys want to be on a date and be seen in public. You don't want to be alone, depending on you who you are, because some guys are okay with being alone. But you guys deep down, you want what you want, right? So I feel like there's some inner conflict with a lot of guys where we'll be like, we don't like women, and stick with your bromance. And then after 5 or 6 months of hanging around dudes all day, you're kind of like, man, the girl walks by, you're like, wow, she's bad. You see that, bro? You see that? A lot of times when you with the bros, they're talking about this hot chick that just walked by, or hey, let's go to the beach, man. Or, it's so strange. Like, it's not like they totally hate women. They're just like, man, I hate the fact I can't get the woman I want. Here, mama. Yeah, they hate the fact they can't get the woman that they really, really want. You know, that's what a lot of times what it really is. Yeah, they don't have no class. You're right. We got to get past that. We can't expect women to, you know, be housewives to us, and we're out there talking to them like they hookers or something. You know, that's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. You gotta, you know. I think one girl she was saying, you know, the guys are when they do. Here, Mom. She said when the guys are doing things for the women, they call them the simps. They the simps. You know. Come on, you're so whiny today. Here. They call them the simps, the guys that are doing facts, and then they'll ask me for my opinion on the girl. They just visually broke that, and I'm like, I guess she's cool. When I've got a girlfriend that I love and don't compare to. Right. Here, mama. Let me take care of this girl. I'm telling you, a hungry baby is the best alarm clock. If you ain't wake up fully in the morning and you still sleep, you get you a kid that's hungry. I'm telling you. Here, mama. But yeah, you're right, bro. They asking for your opinion on the girl. Hmm. Okay, I know, mama. Hmm. Mm-hmm. This girl ready to eat. She like, dude, shut up and get my food. You doing all this talking, daddy. Get my food first, then start talking. Yeah, man. I mean, I am not gonna lie. Was I the guy that was looking at girls when they walked by when I was single? If it was a hot chick that walked by, I was the guy that was like, hey, hell yeah, I was. I'm not gonna sit here and act like no saint, you know, like I was. You know, not all the time, but yeah, you know, it's and I was wrong as hell. You know, the older I get, I'm like, man, you know, I shouldn't have been, you know, whistling at girls and hey, and all that shit, you know. Um, and I think too, as a man, it's like we don't really have a good example, man, of like what shit looks like a lot of times. We don't have a good role model in I feel like in society. Not that you need that, but you do need that as a man, honestly. Says question, when does the physical craving start to slow down in guys my age? Like, what does it take to start for them becoming more mentally romantic instead of sex all the time? That's a good question, man. In some ways, man, I think, you know, some of the girls play into this shit, man, when they're, you know, I go on Instagram. I was against Instagram because I'm like, I ain't got no life like that to be on Instagram with my homeboy. So, like, hey, come on there, man, like my picture, show me some love. So I'm like, all right. And damn, like every other pic, man, it was like panties and tits. And I was like, damn, where's the setting on here where I can get the PG Instagram? Y'all got IG, where can I get the PG shit? Because this shit is like damn near it's a beautiful girls out there. Don't get me wrong, but I was just like, damn, I didn't realize IG wasn't PG. You know, so I'm looking at all these girls, man, and ass everywhere. You know, and it's not all women. You know, just like everything isn't all men. I don't believe, you know, always, never. These are like distortions. But I mean, you can't lie. Like it's just of course you're going to think about sex when you go on IG and you're looking at all the pictures, seeing what everybody's doing. You're seeing ass and titties and excuse my French and just these crazy. You seeing it? It's just there, you know. And of course, as human beings, like especially as men, like we're wired to procreate. You know, we're wired to, you know, shit. You're gonna, you know, you have desires, you have needs. You know what I'm saying? So It's like, I mean, you get these ideas in your mind and you're thinking about sex. It's like 7 in the morning, you know. And we have a choice. We don't have to go on there. I cut down a lot going on Instagram since I've gotten into trouble countless times because the algorithms of the social media thirst traps from the OnlyFans chicks. Yeah, you got the OnlyFans girls, they're on there turning up. I think ever since I started my IG, that's all I get a lot of times is OnlyFans girls try to follow me, and I don't know why, because I'm just not interested. But um, you know, it's in some ways it's kind of hard to be a man, and you don't want to be disrespectful and be harassing women, you know. But I feel like, you know, in my opinion, it would be really beneficial if women can sort of break down in some of these videos. How would you rather be approached? How would you? And they probably got these videos out there, guys. Check them out. How would women rather be approached if they're even interested? Just because she's a female and she's out in public and she's attractive does not mean she wants your ass. You know, I got daughters, right? So, you know, I got a 12-year-old. She damn near look 19. I don't want everywhere my daughter goes, guys are thinking she's automatically looking for a damn date, right? Maybe she's just going to the library. Maybe she's going to get a damn milkshake or something, you know? And I think we tend to generalize. A lot of the dynamics between men and women is generalization. We tend to assume, like, oh, well, you know, all the other women are doing this. You must be just like them, right? You know, and it's not true. You know, it's really not true. So when does that age end? Shit, with this generation, man, I don't know. Because I'm seeing guys in their 50s and their 60s, and they're thinking like we're thinking, you know. I don't know, man. You know, I really don't know. When does it end? I think it ends when, you know, the only remedy I can think of is when you really serious about Christ and following his word. And I know that sounds really cliche, but it's really true because you got to anchor yourself in some sort of discipline of spirituality and accountability. When you know you have God looking at you and is going to judge you for what you're doing, it comes with a little bit of sense of integrity there. Like, damn, I maybe need to be careful, you know, what I'm doing. As a man, I think we should normalize romantic approaches to women more, where we try to suppress our hormones and focus more on exploring the spiritual depth of girls we find attractive. Absolutely. It's a very insightful perspective. We can still use the physical aspect to be attracted, but let's try to get to know them in a more emotional or mental way, not just physical. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, I agree with that. You know, and also if you're attracted, a lot of times men want what they can't have. You know, like I said, they want the OnlyFans looking chick. You know, they want the chick that got her butt out, and they want that because you know, when you're young, you just want the hottest thing. You know, but a lot of times, you know, if she's not letting you know that she's interested in you, she's emotionally unavailable, and guys get pissed off. You know, when they can't get what they really want, they get a lot of these guys that are disappointed is because they really wanted someone who was probably attractive to them, and she wasn't interested, or maybe she was interested, but not at the level that he was. And dudes get pissed off. You know, not on, but they get really disappointed. I was just counseling about this yesterday. Girl broke up with her boyfriend. He got all these girls in his phone from the past. He's saying he can't delete them for whatever reason. I'm just like, I don't know what that's about, but that's his choice. Everything we do, good or bad, come with consequences. And she broke up with this dude. He's slamming stuff against the apartment wall. He's throwing things. Was mad as hell, and I was thinking like, damn, like she just asked you to delete these girls out your phone, and she got boundaries, she got needs too. And my man, he throwing shit against the wall like she slept with him, and you know, and slept with his brothers and all kind of stuff. She didn't do nothing, man. He was slamming. And again, this is not me blaming the men and saying all men are dirtbags or crazy or irrational and things like that. But you know, um, I can only speak for us as men. You know, um, can't go into a girl's life with a whole bunch of chicks in your phone, man, and females in your phone from your past, especially, and you think a girl's gonna be loyal to you and faithful to you, man. But yeah, I agree with you. You know, approaching them respectfully. You gotta. It's difficult with approaching girls today. I think with this Me Too movement and a lot of men, not all, but you know, it's sort of like this abuse thing going around and this and harassment and stuff like that going around. Men, we're not really, you know, with it right now. I mean, we in some areas we are, but in terms of the love dating realm, from what I'm saying, we're kind of down a couple points. So, I don't think you want to go rush out, to a girl right now. It's different. You got to kind of read the times and read the room. If she's not coming up to you or giving you indicators, and also men gotta trust that she even, yeah, mama, that she's even interested. Hmm. You gotta trust that if she's interested in you as a woman, she's gonna talk to you. She's gonna give you indicators and signs, and she might even approach you. Girls don't. They'll approach you. Some men don't believe that a girl will approach them. She'll approach you. But some guys, they get so insecure. They feel like, oh, I really see this girl. She's attractive, and she's not gonna approach me. So I gotta show her. I gotta do. It's a control thing. Sometimes you just gotta fucking fall back, man. And if she see you, and if she's not interested, then that's it. you know, like some guys, they just gotta have it, man. You gotta say something. I gotta be seen. I think there's insecurity there. You know, women, they're not that much different than us. If she's interested in you, I've seen videos of guys on IG, man, girls walking up to them, and these dudes are not the most handsome supermodels, and girls are walking up to them. These dudes chilling. You just take care of yourself, you groom yourself. You know, these girls are walking up, they'll come to you. They'll come to you. You know, I don't think I'm Johnny Bravo or nothing, but he says, can I read messages? I think that a lot of guys these days have a very selfish approach to relationships these days. There's an imbalance because still a lot of guys who live and think traditionally in relationships. I think that men attract the women they want when they become the person they also want to have the attraction from. If you don't like the way you look or act, they probably won't either. Spot on. Period. You don't love yourself and you don't like how you look and how they're not gonna more than likely they're not gonna be super attracted to you. You might have some girls that'll kind of work with you, but you gotta have some confidence. That's the first advice I would tell you guys. If you like a girl and you're out in public and you see a girl that's attractive, it doesn't matter how she looks. For you, she's attractive. Don't approach her right away. You know, and if you are, be respectful. Be kind. Don't be disrespectful. Don't harass the girl. You know, if you're in a museum or a library, you see somebody you're interested in. I understand. It's not about you know just sitting there like a statue, but be respectful. If she's busy, she's with her friends, she's doing something. Don't go run up in the middle. Hey, hey, hey. It's like chill. you know. If she's alone and you feel like it's appropriate, she's looking at you, giving you eye contact, she's giving you these signs, what they call it, choosing signals. Hey, how you like this museum? How you like this library? Blah, 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 stuff like that. It's okay. You know? What are you doing, Mama? Look, the rules are changing, man. I think, girl, you done? What are we doing? You done, Mama? Yeah, man, these girls, yeah, you gotta take me for example. So you can still attract women, but they probably won't be the woman you want to attract if you're not who you want to be first, right? Take me for example. I drove my girlfriend away because of who I was and I lost myself. So now I'm working on myself so I can become the guy she wants and I want to. Absolutely, you get it. You get it. This is a good video, man. I'm glad that you're in here, man. Thank you so much for joining, man. It's a blessing having you in here. You really put some really good game out here. You're right. You're right. You've been working really hard. I'm really proud of you, man. Yeah, you gotta focus on yourself, man. I know they're using terms like high value and high, alpha and different things like that. It's whatever you want to call it, but you just gotta be comfortable and happy with yourself, with how you look, with take care of yourself, um, take care of your career, have something, that makes you feel confident as a man outside of her. Sometimes guys, they look for girls because that's for them, their source of insecurity and identity. You know, I had a client I was talking to. He was like, you know, he's dependent on his girl. He owned it. I respected it. You know, I don't necessarily agree with that, but if that's how he wants to live, that's how he wants to live. He depends on his girl. So you got guys like that where they really depend on their women for their like sense of security and purpose. And you gotta have other things too that you can kind of anchor yourself in. You know, Momo. Spitting game says take me. So it says spitting game because I'm hungry for success mentally, not afraid to keep the chef cooking as long as I supplies the vegetables. Right. But on the flip side, for the men to advocate for them, you know, it's kind of hard these days to know what, even if she is giving you choosing signals, and some guys will go out there and be respectful, and they'll get dissed. The girl will be like, what you talking to me about? What? And they're like, yeah, you was checking me out. I was thinking you was. So sometimes on the other side, because it's a two-way street, right? It's not just everything on the men. Women, it's like you got to make it more clear, you know, and give indicators or write out a script or write a book or something where guys can understand the modern women. You know, to my knowledge, I don't know if there's any book or anything out there outside the IG book, and it ain't PG. So, you know, you guys got to give us, you know, and some women will say, you guys should just know. Shit, man, if they should just know, we wouldn't be having this divide. It says the video that you made about the girl saying deposits for men to date you, I was just like, oh, yeah. Hey, brother Nita, thank you for joining. Good to see you. Hey, mama. Yeah, man. She was saying like I think men should put down deposits. They should put down deposits to date us. These guys need to put deposits down. I know, right? I saw that video. Mama, what are you doing? Well, you know, I think she was being sarcastic. You know, maybe she was being honest too. But I think a lot of girls and guys are just fed up. You know. And a relationship is not for everybody, too. You know, it's not for everybody. Relationships are hard. You know, they're not easy. So you gotta get out of this mindset that, you know, just because you're a man or just because you're a woman, you supposed to have a relationship. That's not true. You know, sometimes you meant to be single. You know, and focus on yourself, focus on your dreams, focus on your personal development. You know, don't even think about getting into a relationship until you got you together first. Like you said, you know, people think since they born on this earth and they alive, you know, I need to be in a relationship. That's not true. That's not true. Don't lie to yourself. You know, relationship is a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of work. If guys and women can't handle the dating phase, you don't need to be in no relationship. Hey, boy, Anita, good to see you. How you doing? I wish there was someone who was a big influence on social media who could tell all the young people around my age there is someone out there who's worth it. Just be patient and go find them. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You're right. I wish there was like a role model for both the men and the women that was healthy, where a healthy woman can teach men in a nice, respectful, appropriate, healthy way, and the man can be respectful and appropriate and healthy, and they can just dialogue and be role models for this generation on healthy ways to approach a woman and healthy ways women can show indicators and interest in the man, and you know, just a good role model. I think this men versus women divide as a consequence of us not having really strong role models and people we can look up to. And role models in society are like tuning forks for, you know, how can you say it? They're like tuning forks for the society today and the current dynamics. So they tend to be like the representatives. So we don't have that, you know, where we can just go to people who are like in it. So people are like freestyling. They're like walking blindfolded. I think I do this. I think I do that. That never works. You know, that never works. So yeah, I told you I was gonna learn how to do it today on Thursday. So I just got up. I'm gonna figure it out and see how I can bring people in. I don't know if I'm gonna check it out today though. Just making my daughter some breakfast. But I haven't forgot about you. I'm gonna figure out how to put you on the screen. You can give me some advice for the middle school kids, you know, about your experience and I want to say you're in middle school. What is 10? 10, is that still elementary? I'm not sure. Middle? You guys are looking, the ages are kind of mixed up now. I don't know. Yeah, I wish we had more solid role models, guys. Like, the models that we have now, they all burnt out. They don't want to deal with the women, and the women don't want to deal with the men. You know, it's really sad, you know. I appreciate, this is just my opinion, okay? Sometimes it's hard to even have an opinion. This is my opinion. I'm going to the 5th grade. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I remember 5th grade. I used to have this crush on this girl in 5th grade. And I used to be so happy. We just used to sit next to each other in gym class. And she was so cute. I was surprised. She even dated me. And we wasn't really dating. We would just, we would call dating in 5th grade, sitting next to each other in PE. But it felt so good sitting next to her. She was so cute. I remember her. I'm not gonna say her name or nothing, but I remember that. And I was just like, damn, So I McDonald's and whoever doing a live stream. But yeah, we gotta have some better role models, man. Like, I try to be that person, but maybe I might not resonate well with people, just to, like, I appreciate women. Do I agree with everything they do? No, but I don't mind. When I was single, I didn't mind, like, if somebody wasn't interested, okay. And even if they were interested and it took us a while to get to know each other, maybe it might have been a little challenging. I used to look at it, sometimes you got to reframe as a man, like, well, damn, at least if she's challenging for me, it's good that more than likely she's just not going to let any and every guy into her circle. So I looked at that as like a good thing, like, and I also accepted that everything is not for me. Randy, I feel like you resonate with people who actually want the changes both for them. That, man, I'm trying to be that voice, but I can't do it alone. We need some guys who still believe in women and women who still believe in men. It's so inspiring when you see a man that believes in a woman and honors a woman, and a woman that believes in men, and it's so inspiring. I'm just the little things, because there's so much hate and pros. I don't know what's up with iPhone, man. Usually my quality is on point, man. When I do live streams, I might have to do my streams through somewhere else. They said StreamYard is pretty good. I'm gonna do my live streams through StreamYard. I know you said TikTok. I started to do the live stream about 37 minutes ago, Berlinita, about 8:20, something like that. So I just got up, but I'm gonna check out. I'm thinking maybe on StreamYard I can add you guys on here. We'll see. I'm definitely getting another platform because my video quality is not good when I stream through YouTube. Look like I'm streaming through a Nokia or something. My phone camera quality is pretty good from when I look at it, but when I look at the restreams, I'm like, dang, this could be a lot better. So yeah, I still believe in women. I still believe in men. Also consider the internet dead zones in your household. It might not be the platform. Yeah, true that. Mama, you don't need to hold these. Yeah, true that. Yeah, because I see some people on YouTube and their videos are so crispy and clear. Maybe I just need to get a camera or something. Maybe I need to get a camera or something. Yeah, but I still believe in women. I still believe in men. It's just dating online is the big thing now. Before I was, when I was growing up, we didn't have online dating. You had to walk up to a girl respectfully. You had to, if you were interested, and if she gave you those truths and signals, you didn't have to, And like I said, every woman is not looking to be married to you, but you didn't have the luxury of going online and swiping left and right. You actually had to put in work, and if you didn't put in work, you didn't get no date, So now you have the internet dating age, and I'm old enough to remember before this came on, and it kind of made a big impact on the relationships where it's like either you got it or you don't. It made things very black and white. Back before the internet, it was like, and the online dating, it was like you didn't have to be perfect and have all these you didn't have to hit every box. You know, if you were just respectful, if you was kind, and you know, some girls would be watching me like, hey, I see you speech and I saw you talking. You know, you do music. It's really cool. You know, it was just like sometimes the little things. Now, you know, and it can still be that way. You know, but it's just the competition is high. People can back in the day without the dating apps, you had to get what was ever in your radius. You know, like we didn't have the luxury of going out the other state looking for people, and you know, before the chat rooms and Yahoo chat and all that stuff. Okay, you had to get whatever was in your radius. That was your options. Now, shit, you could get somebody in Egypt and in Australia, you know, and you sitting in Idaho or something. You know, it's different, man. We got to evolve. So you know what I'm sad to admit, especially the fact that there are no women of God my age anymore. That's what makes my girlfriend such a gem. She's rooted to faith, and that's what's missing these days. Yeah, I feel that. Go to some churches, man. You go to some churches, man. There's nothing but women in there worshiping God and praising God. But I see what you're saying. Maybe in the areas that you're at and you're looking, you know. But I have been noticing that. But there are some women of faith. There are. I go to a lot of different, you know, church revivals, church, you know, speakers and things like that. And it's the women that praising the Lord, you know, they are. So you just got to go out and explore. There's some women of God out there. But I get what you're saying, like your age, your generation, maybe you're not seeing it as much, but find some small groups, you know, find some small groups to join, you know. But I understand it's good that you have your faith. Hey, mom, what's that? What's that, mom? Yeah, I gotta, I'm not saying that there's not none. It just feels so small in Orange County, and it's not the grounded focus anymore. I agree with that. This is my work, guys. The food ate the floor ate the food. Yeah, I used to think like that too. Like, man, is in California, you know, do they even believe in God? You know, I used to have some of those thoughts. You know, you talk about Orange County. I used to think of all California. I'm like, man, do these people believe in God here? You know, because in Detroit and Michigan, it's like everywhere. And not that we're perfect, you know, by any means, but you know, I guess just growing up in the church and you know, my pastor was my cousin. You know, so it was just that's all I knew. But when I came down here, it just seemed like everybody could do whatever they want to do in California. So I kind of felt that same way when I first got here. But then once I started getting connected to churches and things like that, I'm like, man, there are some people out here who really love the Lord. Oh, thank you, Berlinita. You're so sweet. Thank you for sending me some hearts. There are a lot of people out here who love the Lord. You know, I just had to get connected to the church, you know, but socially, I agree with you, bro. Like, once you leave the church and you get back out here in the world, how people treat each other on these highways and on these roads, they treat each other like shit. Where you don't really get this sense of this spiritual community in California outside the church. People are really hard on each other, really hateful on these highways and these roads. That was so hard for me coming out the military, is just getting used to how people drive. I was like, damn, how can people be so hateful and so insensitive, you know? And I know everybody got other things going on, but this was just my mindset. I'm just like, man, this shit is crazy. You know, a lot of hate in California, man. A lot of hate. I used to go to Saddleback, but I'm really disappointed with the model of the church. They make it feel like business, but where you have to pay God's forgiveness, always mention that. I just I cannot watch cuss words. Then why you say cuss words, but you love God? And I can't. I'm going to go. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I shouldn't be cursing. She's right. When we love God and we love the Lord, you know, she's right. We shouldn't say curse words. Man, guys get on live. You guys get on live. Man, I see some people live. They just go in. I get on live. I gotta be on my best behavior, man. I was talking the other day on my live about what was it? What was I saying? Hey, I'm a work in progress, guys. All right, don't use me as your model. Kids, this may not be the live for you. If you're like 18 and under, you might want to go somewhere else. This is not, you know, my lives are not going to always be kid friendly. Okay, come here. Apologize that you know you younger people can't be a part of these conversations, but it's everything isn't for everybody, okay? This is an adult conversation right now, and unfortunately, adults, we curse. Is it a good thing? Absolutely not, you know? But at the same time, we got to give each other grace because you guys don't know what, especially when you're young, you don't know what people are going through, okay? So this is not for kids today. So, what my man say, I've been able to cut back on my cussing, but like 80% has helped me feel more mentally mature and intelligent because I'm not using them as fillers or something. Yeah, you know, um, you're right. You're right. My auntie, she even tell me that too. Like, you know, watch out on your cursing and watch out on your language. So you're right, Berlinita. I'm not saying you're wrong, but just, you know, sometimes my videos are going to be for adults only, so it's not good for you to be in here because, you know, I do curse from time to time, you know, and I'm not going to blame anybody. That's my choice. But yeah, you know, I was just really surprised at how hateful, you know, and in Detroit, don't get me wrong, you got environments where you go around the wrong neighborhood, you can get, you know, hung up too. But I didn't feel that same pressure and just negative energy like I do out here. I don't know what it is about California. I don't know what it is. You guys tell me, explain it to me. And I love California. I love the nature. You know, I love the fact that I can leave to different states and come back and everything is right where I remembered it was supposed to be. You know, but the hardest thing for me has been adjusting to the people out here. I don't know. There's some different type of people out here, outside of the people who I think it's you have to. This is one of those states where you got to go to elementary school here, and you gotta literally grow up with the humans here from the beginning. It's like if you come in to the human's life in California on the 6th or 7th chapter, it's not going to be the same. You got to be with these guys from the beginning because I know there's guys who are from here, and you guys got that friendship group and that base, but you might relate to California different because you guys got friends that go probably back to the 90s. You know, I came out here in 2000 and I came out here in like 2011, 10, no, 2009. So I'm walking into everybody's life late, guys, you know. Hey, mom. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining. Sorry for cursing for all the kids in here. I know there's a lot of kids coming on my live. I don't know if it's, you know, that's a good thing. You know, they say when you attract younger people, you got good energy, you know, you're pure. You know, kids are not gonna go around people that they feel like are not safe and not good people. So I appreciate, you know, younger people coming into my lives, and it's like a light for me to kind of put myself back in the mindset of a younger person where, you know, everything don't gotta be all negative, everything don't gotta be so hard, you know. So I appreciate them being in here. It's just some days I'm gonna have discussions and conversations where I may say cuss word. I may talk about things that may not be appropriate for like a 19-year-old. I put on here, it's not for kids for this video, but I'm not gonna say you guys can't join, but I understand your dad is right. You know, you shouldn't watch videos where people are cursing and things like that. You know, he's absolutely right. And, hey, Mom. Yeah, so today's my day off. I'm gonna learn how to add people into the live stream if I can even do that. I'm gonna try to do some research. Berlinita, I'm not trying to make you feel different, but you're only 9 years old. You probably don't understand a lot of these topics, but you will one day. I think you should focus on school more. Oh yeah, wait, Randy, I just decided to start a YouTube yesterday. Right? Yeah, man. Send me your channel information, man, so I can check you out. Just go in there and just, you know, do your thing and just talk, you know. Do your thing. I'm talking so much, my mouth is getting dry. I probably need to get some water and shut it down here soon. That's good, man. What are some of the topics you're gonna talk about in your live? Yeah, I'm gonna cut down on putting videos up on YouTube. YouTube is some work, man. You guys don't play on YouTube. I was hearing back in the day, they didn't have to do like no 4,000 watch hours and all these different things, 1,000 subscribers to get monetized. You could probably just open up a YouTube and get monetized. Now YouTube is some work. You know, I just love posting videos. So regardless if I get monetized or not, man, I just love it. I just love it. Hey, what's up, Kawid Weeds? Good to see you. How you doing? You came on right when I was about to close, but let's stay for a little bit longer. How you guys doing? What you doing, Mom? That's good. That's really good. We were just talking today about boys versus the girls. I know I got some kids, some younger people in here. The boys versus the girls. Um, just life, just life advice, life topics. Good to see you guys. I'm gonna do another live tomorrow morning. That's good. What's your topics about? It's called "What the fuck am I do? What the f am I doing?" And it's about trying to learn different things for at least a week. I'm waiting for suggestions so I can learn the first thing. She's playing with everything but the kids' toys. Exactly. Yeah, I remember you from 2 days ago. I remember you. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, she don't. These kids, man, these new babies, they're like some X-Men or something. They don't. You put a kid toy in front of them, they ain't trying to hear that. I want to say I got her a little toy. Actually, you reminded me. Yeah, they don't want to play with. They don't want to play with the kids' toys. Look at her. Look at her. You're so ready. Mama, boo boo, boo booing. That's your boo boo look. That's her boo boo look. Mm-hmm. Boo booing. When she get that serious look. I heard this for the airplane ride. She can have something she can look at. Is that your boo boo look, or you want to look at your toy look? Yeah, got her little. She on the airplane. She can, like little things she can do. Little things she can look at on the plane. Right? Look, Mama. It's pretty cool, right? A little book for the babies, for the planes. Is I know she gonna get out of here. Oh, that's how you take it off. You like that, Mama? Yeah, no, right. It's like a Montessori little book for the babies to keep them stimulated. Hold her attention for a little bit when we're on an airplane. Give her something to do. But yeah, I remember you 2 weeks ago. Thank you for joining, K Weeds. This is called "What the F Am I Doing?" It's about trying to learn different things. What is something that you can learn to do? Hmm. What could you learn to do? Um. Do you know how to skateboard? I think that'd be cool. Try to learn how to skateboard. I always wanted to learn how to. Oh, here it goes. Look, Mama. It's like a little. Try to learn how to skateboard, man. Hey, boo-boo. We don't never open it up the right way, right, guys? We just kind of just. How cool is that? Has like little squares and stuff she can. Look, Mama. Like little squares and stuff. I tried it when I was younger, but I'll see if I can find something to use for it and go do more research. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, man, try to skateboard. That'd be really good. They got these little. They're good. What's another thing you can do? Skateboard. Trying to think of something that you could learn how to do. I tried it when I was younger. Yeah, I tried to skateboard when I was younger too. I was always fascinated by skateboarding. I used to like watching X Games. That was a thing back in the day. Yeah, skateboarding. You can maybe learn how to cook a certain dish. Maybe learn how to fry some chicken or something, man. learn how to, bake some chicken or, do something like a chef skill, or it could be, a smoothie. I've got zero to my name, so it's more trying to use free resources to research and attempt to do the thing like life skills, language, etc. I can document channel. Yeah, that's good. No, I'm picking up what you're putting down. You can do something that's a little bit more like try reading a new book, speaking a new language, pronouncing a new word. Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? I'm just over here trying to put this toy together. Dada. Yeah, mama. I think she likes it. It's got her engaged. Yeah, we meet again, man. We meet again. How's your morning going? How's your day going? Trying to help her set this up. This is a cool little thing for her airplane ride. Trying to keep her stimulated for this airplane, guys. Pray for me, all right? So, have some things to do. How's life treating you, brother? How you doing? How's life treating you? Trying to do better day by day. What about you? I know that's right. Yeah, man, same. Trying to do better and taking care of the kids. And I'm on daddy's duties today. So I'm just trying to get better, be a better father, be a better man, and trying to help. Today we were talking about men and women, the divide between the men and the women, and I'm watching a lot of videos, and women think the men don't like them, and men think the women don't like them. So I can't save everybody. I was telling people maybe a relationship is not for you. Everybody not meant to be in no relationship. Having a relationship is hard work. My man in the chat, he'll tell you it's not easy. And a lot of times relationships take away from your ability to focus on personal development and self-improvement unless she's right there with you doing that same work. Because you can find partners that are with you on that. But a lot of times guys want to please their women. They want to go take them out on dates. They want to go do things. And, when you're struggling financially or you're trying to build yourself up, that may not be the best focus, These little ones are expensive, even as babies. They're expensive, We had a nanny, man. I think we were paying about $5,000 a month for a nanny. $5,000 a month. So if you guys looking for a career, go look into being a nanny because they're getting paid. Okay, $5,000 a month for a nanny. All right. There's different prices, different ranges. I know it's just a scale, so you don't just have to pay, but 5,000, guys. That's more than the mortgage. You put them on here, mama. Look, you stick them on here. Look, mama, put it there, like that. See? Yeah, you put it right there. Oh, she boo-boo. I have to change her diaper. I can smell her. Oh, I gotta change you, mama. So I guess I gotta go, guys. Her poop is my signal. I gotta go do some work and get her ready for the daycare. Woo! Get her ready to change her. Appreciate you guys joining, man. Really appreciate it. I'll be doing lives every morning, even in Hawaii. Ooh, be careful, mama. All right, I'm going to start my day, Randy. It was a blessing being here. Have a great day. Thank you, man. Praying for you too, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I can't wait till I do the lives in Hawaii and Hilo so you guys can see Hilo and kind of go around and the island and, see some cool things, man. I'm going to do some really good videos. But I'm going to try to cut down to just 2 a week, man. I probably won't do a video today because, I don't want to tire you guys out with all this posting. So thank you so much for watching. Say bye-bye, mama. Momo. She playing her toy. Appreciate you guys for joining, man. Hope you guys have a blessed day. I'll be praying for you. you know, stay strong, you know, stay making those value-based decisions. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye, mama. All right, man. You guys have a blessed one. See you next time. Peace.